You all, welcome back to Pearls of Eden. I've got an interesting clip that I want to show you. We're going to take a look at a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law and a gender reveal. Well, the daughter-in-law, let's just say, was not very happy about the response, the reaction of the mother-in-law. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Oh my God, no, I'm gonna stop.
You good?
Yeah, we can all say that this was team too much, her response maybe. But you could tell right away that this just definitely shifted the energy. I think she could have celebrated them both, right? She should have hugged her and the son, but she just overwhelmed the son, and she was just like, yay, and so excited for him when they are both having a baby and the mother is carrying her most treasured, valuable grandchild, right? And she just didn't acknowledge her at all. So I can see how she is feeling overwhelmed. You could tell the mother's reaction is like, wow, right? You just showed him all this love, but I'm carrying your grandbaby and you just totally acted like I'm not a part of the equation. And unfortunately, this happens too often where people, especially mother-in-laws, they give all the attention to the son, all the praise to the son, and they neglect to nurture that relationship with the daughter-in-law. And I think that that's a big mistake, because the daughter-in-law is the one that is caring and nurturing for the children and raising and most times. And so if you don't have a really great relationship with the mother, it could affect your relationship with the children. So you really want to make sure that you nurture that bond. And it is obvious by this clip and by the mother's response that this is something that happens with other things as well. She just doesn't feel included. Let's keep watching.
You just completely stole our moment.
No, come on then.
This was right. This is our baby,
Don't
and
worry
the
about it.
gender. No, it's not like I'm worried. I just want to address it because I don't think this was right.
I'm excited that you're
I
having a baby.
understand, but you
Yes,
didn't
it
allow
is
him to
exciting.
hug me. I'm his
Pardon?
wife. You didn't allow him to hug me.
Yeah,
You don't feel sure every day, like, what's the problem?
Yes, but then we just found out we're gonna have a little baby girl.
it's fine, it's
and you
fine.
just-
It's fine.
Okay, you all, this is so sad to me because this should be a joyous occasion and now it's turning into Drama Fest 2.0. If I were her and in her shoes, I probably would have let it go. Yes, it's annoying, but this is his mother, and I think that the level of respect that she should have for her, she is excited. Yes, she is team too much, and I'm sure she's team too much on a lot of levels. And I'm sure the mother's pregnant, okay, and hormonal. We know she's pregnant, but she's hormonal, right? So this was just the straw to break the camel's back, and she just went ham, right? I think this wasn't necessary, okay, from both of them. She probably should have just let it go. She could have talked to her husband about it. But yeah, because now things are really going to be awkward. And I think when you have these tense relationships, you have to understand what to overlook. And I think that comes with maturity too, right? And what to address. And I think that this was a moment that it wasn't the proper space, place, or time for her to address it. She maybe could have talked to her by herself, the mother-in-law, and said, this is how it made me feel. I felt like I wasn't included. And, addressed her feelings. I don't think this was the proper place or time, because obviously there are other people around. As a celebration, a gender reveal, right? Drama, okay? And then, you have the son that's in the middle who's like, it's okay, are you, let's just move on, and it's like, no, we ain't moving on today. We about to address this head on. Ooh, y'all.
I'm trying to get that it's my first
No,
granddaughter
you
as well,
screwed
like.
yourself, Daddy.
No,
Are
no.
you crazy?
Come on, everyone's happy. Come on, let's.
No, I give a minute, no. Go on.
I don't think this is right because you just literally threw yourself at Dane, ended up on the sofa. He couldn't even hug me.
Right, listen, are you a little bit hormonal?
Oh,
We're both
there you
fine.
go. This is
Say that.
Okay, all right. as a mom who has 3 sons, right? And one day will prayerfully get to be a grandmother. I get this. She said, this is my first granddaughter. And she was so excited. But again, she had to understand that this wasn't just about her son, and she made it about her son only, and she neglected to show the same kind of love for her daughter-in-law. And again, it goes back to show you that they just haven't nurtured that relationship. And I'm going to put the onus on the mother-in-law for this, because as the older and the more mature one, I think it's our role to make sure that we develop those relationships, because they are growing, they are maturing. She's a young new mom, and not to give the daughter-in-law a pass, but we have that, what should I say? We have the season, we have the ability, the experience. We understand what it is to be in their position. And so we show grace, right? We show some extra needed mercies when we need to, right? And so I think as the mother-in-law, she should have been more inclusive. But again, I just think this speaks to the nature of their relationship, that she is just a part of the package, but she hasn't taken the time to get to know her daughter-in-law, to love her daughter-in-law, to make her feel included. And so here we are, they're at the gender reveal, and she is so super excited. Nothing wrong with that. It's her first granddaughter, but she shows all of this zeal and excitement for her son and overlooks the daughter-in-law. And again, she has been overlooked. Probably this isn't the first episode of this, right? And so we are just seeing what, the straw that broke the camel's back, and she goes off on her, and she's just like, well, what's the big deal? It's my first granddaughter. And you don't see any type of compassion. They are just very combative with one another. And there you have the son in the middle of it all with the women that he loves the most, and he feels like he is being what do you call it, the middle person, and you're stretched and you are having to choose a side. It's just very stressful for him. And I think as a good wife, she should not put him in that position either, and the mother shouldn't put him in that position either. I think they both have some responsibility to carry in this situation. But like I said, as the older, you should be wiser, you should be more mature. She should have known better than to display herself in that way. But I don't know, what do you all think? I would love to hear from seasoned mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws.
Why is everyone staring at me and attacking me? Come on, love. You honestly, we're having a nice day. We'll time your office up.
Like you said, we had a nice day. And I'm doing this.
So yeah, they took a really lovely moment, and it was ruined. The family dynamics, especially the dynamics of a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law. I think that is something that you have to pray about. You definitely want to pray about who your children marry. You want to also pray that you are able to nurture the relationships as God would lead you to. God to help you to be a good daughter-in-law. Let God help you be a good mother-in-law. God will help you and navigate these steps, because too often we see these tensions between mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws, and it's just so sad, because it's an opportunity to gain a daughter. It's an opportunity to gain a mother-in-law. It's an opportunity to have a bonus, an extra, an addition. And too often it is seen as competition. And you can see that this mother-in-law and this daughter-in-law, if they don't get their acts together, it is going to be a drama-filled, torturous, nightmarish type of relationship, not only for them, the grandchildren, but also the son. It puts him in such a complicated position, which you don't want your husband, your spouse to be in. And so you all, I wanted to share this because I think there's so many lessons that we could all learn. And it is my prayer that one day, if I get to be a mother-in-law, that I want to be a blessing, not a stressing to my future daughter-in-law and my son and my grandchildren. Love covereth a multitude of sins. And sometimes, you have to overlook an offense. The Bible said it is to your glory to overlook an offense. And we can see why, because if maybe she would have overlooked it and took the time to maybe address this in a proper space and place, where there weren't all these eyes watching, someone's filming it, which is for our edification and learning, right? We can learn from this. So if you ever find yourself in this type of position, maybe a different scenario, you have to understand that you don't respond in this matter, but you have to react in wisdom, right? Isn't that the amazing thing about walking with the Holy Spirit? He gives you patience, he gives you grace, he gives you wisdom, he instructs you so that you can conduct yourself in a way that is pleasing to God and to those who are around you. And I know that's difficult, because everybody wants to be valuable and everybody wants to be included. And everyone wants to be loved and seen. And I think that's what's frustrating this young mother, is that she just wants to be valued. Well, anyways, I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section. How would you have responded? Do you think that this new mother, was in the right? Or do you think the mother-in-law was in the right? Do you think they both were extreme in their response? I can't wait to hear from you all. Well, all right, let's talk soon.